Luigi, I'm ready to work, and you haven't even gotten it out yet. Okay, so guys, we're working this problem. Now, I don't know about you, but it would make this problem a whole lot easier to factor if that n squared was positive, yeah? So, could I factor out a negative? Okay, so I'm going to factor out a negative 1, and I'm going to write it like this. If I factor out a negative, what does that make 10? Negative, and I'm going to put it last because that's just the constant. What does it make a negative 9n? A positive 9n, and what does it make a negative n squared? A positive n squared. Now the reason I did that is because factoring this is a whole lot easier now, isn't it? What are the factors of negative 10 that add up to positive 9? 10 and 1? 10 and a negative 1? Good. So I'm going to write n plus 10 and n minus 1 with a negative 1 in front, right? So I've rewritten this as this, but then I've rewritten that as this. Yeah? Okay. And yeah, that I'm going to rewrite it just so that you can see it more clearly, but we've got a negative 1 times an n plus 10 times n minus 1 over 6n. So guys, we should notice that what? N minus 1's. Good. N minus 1, n minus 1. When you were testing, yes. And we will go over that when we're doing this. Okay? It really would have been handy for you to be here yesterday.
Yeah, I was sick yesterday. I had to go to the doctor.
Why? Why were you sick? Why? Don't be sick. Why would you be sick when you know that means you miss class? That's just silly. That's just silly. Okay. Well, you should have. All right, guys. So nothing else cancels out, right? So I'm just going to write, hey, I could redistribute my negative. I don't have to, but I could just write negative 1 times n plus 10 over 6n, and I'm done. Yeah? Okay. Okay. So let's go to this one. What do you think we need to do with all of these terms? Factor. So let's take them one by one. What are the factors of 9 that add up to 10? Yeah. 9 and 1. So x plus 1, x plus 9 over x plus 1. Times factors of negative 35 that add up to negative 2. I hear negative 7 and positive 5. 7 times 5 gives me 35, and a negative 7 and a positive 5 adds up to a negative 2. Factors of 45 that add up to 14. 9 and 5, right? 9 and 5? Okay, so plus 9 plus 5. And then it just becomes what cancels out? Yeah? What cancels out? Final answer? X minus 7, yeah? Okay, so let's talk about the next problem, guys. Okay, if you divide one fraction by another, what do you have to do? All right, so I'm going to write 4 over 10b times 6 over 4. Good. What cancels out? And 6 over 10 simplifies? 6 and 10 both divide by 2, so 3 and 5. So final answer? 3 over 5b. Okay. So 6x minus 36 over x minus 2 times, what goes on top? X minus 3 goes on top, and 6x minus 36 goes on bottom. So Michael, what cancels out? Those two? So final answer? Over? Do the x's cancel out? You sure? No, they don't. Why not, Luigi? Right, because it's not multiplication. If it was 3x over 2x, then yes, the x's would cancel out because it's multiplication. But as it is with subtraction, they don't. So final answer is right there. Good, I'm glad. Alright, let's look at 18. Guys, isn't 18 the same type of problem? One fraction divided by another. So what do you got to remember to multiply by? 4 over u. So we just take the bottom fraction, flip it, and multiply. And just mark out the bottom. Now, what cancels out, or what simplifies? So we just take the bottom fraction, Michael, and flip it, okay? The 4 and the 16? 4 goes into 4 once. 1 and 4? Do the u's cancel out? No, because that one is addition, right? So I've got u plus 4 times 1 over 4 times u. Final answer? Okay. So what about this one? Same thing? What am I going to multiply by then? Okay, so that's gone, yeah? Guys, do the u squareds cancel out or combine? They combine because they're both in the numerator. So u squared times u squared is u to the 4th. What's 9 times 4? Okay. Okay, guys, so on this one, hey, do my denominators have anything in common, a and 16? Right, so if I multiply them by each other, then they have a common denominator, right? Michael, this is what we did when you were gone. I can't, because you're subtracting. No, it's algebra. Okay, so I agree, if this is multiplication, I could cancel out 16s, but because it's subtraction, I can't. So I'm going to multiply this by 16 on top and bottom, because I need that. What do you need to multiply this one by? A. Because now I have a common denominator, right? 16a. 16 times 16 is 256 minus 9a. So I combine my numerator into one fraction, my numerators, and then over my common denominator, 16a, right? I only ever write down my common denominator once. Sometimes people write them down twice, so they add them up. A over 16, right? Okay, so you're saying multiply by 16 over a? Exactly. So what happens to the 16s? Okay, so 16 cancels out with 16 because one's on top, one's on the bottom. Do the a's cancel out or do they combine? Combine. Okay, so in my numerator I've got 256 minus 9a over a times a, which is a squared. Is that good? Does an a cancel out?
No.
Not unless there'd been an a in here, right? Okay. Just to clarify, guys, if this had been this is not the problem, I'm just making stuff up. If this had been this, could you have factored an a out? And then you could have said a times 256a minus 9. Then I could have canceled out 1a, right? Because that's multiplication. So that's when you can cancel out. This is not. Okay. So let's talk about this one. I need to first do what? Right, I need to make this one fraction, which means I need to find a common denominator. Does 2 factor into x plus 4? It doesn't factor out of x plus 4, right? Okay, because there's not a 2 in front of the x, or a factor, or a multiple of 2. So my common denominator is a combination of the 2. So what do I need on this one? Okay, on this one I need an x plus 4 and an x plus 4. On this one I need a what? A 2. Okay, so let's combine our numerator into one fraction, yeah? Over 2 times x plus 4. Okay, so what have I got here? X squared plus 4x. So what did she do, guys? Distribute the x? Okay, plus what? 2x. over my x plus 4 over 4. Okay, is there anything you can combine? 4x and 2x is 6x, so I've got x squared plus 6x over 2 times x plus 4. Do you want to go ahead and flip and multiply? What do we multiply by then? 4 over x plus 4? Okay, do you guys see anything that can simplify?
I have a question.
Yep.
What's our test?
Monday?
What do you say?
Monday.
Just make sure you
Me?
say.
Well, I could have given you only 1 day review and had you test today. Oh well. Okay, what? Guys. Right, guys. Haley said the 4 and the 2 because that's, this is multiplication. That 4 and that 2 can simplify down to a 2 on top. But the x plus 4s don't cancel out because they're both in the denominator, right? So I'm going to write 2 times x squared plus 6x over x plus 4 times x plus 4. You don't have to distribute, but you could. You could distribute the 2 and you could FOIL this out in the denominator, but that's good enough. Okay? Okay. So now we need to go to, we just need to do these 3? Okay. So let's do this first one. Now, guys, how do you add fractions? Or subtract fractions? Common denominator. So I'm going to think about my common denominator for a second. In my common denominator, I know I need a 3, because the 3 is in the denominator, right? I know I need an x cubed. What else do I need? Common denominator, honey. I need a 4. Don't I already have an x, though? Right, so this is my common denominator. 3 times 4 times x cubed, which is what? Okay, so my common denominator is 12x cubed. I have a 3x cubed, so what do I need? I just need a 4. So think about this. I have a 3x cubed. I only need a 4. So I multiply by 4 on top and bottom. I have a 4 and an x. Right, I need a 3, and I only need 2 more x's, so I say x squared. 3x squared.
So wait, what's the purpose of writing 3 squared and 4?
To say what my common denominator is. In this case, I had to think about it because I have a 3x cubed, I have a 4x. Okay, so between the two,
Is whatever the bottom one's equal?
well, not necessarily. Yeah, what do they both factor into? Well, I need a 3, I need a 4. I need an x cubed. Well, I don't need an extra x because x factors out of that, right? So anyway, we'll do some more of that, but yeah, that's all I need, okay? All right, so what's this right here? 8y. Now, guys, a lot of people do this, but do you have to do this step? Why do you not have to do it? Right, they already have a common denominator of 12x cubed, so I might as well just say 8y minus 15yx squared or x squared y over the common denominator 12x cubed. Now, do 8, 15, and 12 all divide by a similar number or a common number? No, 15 and 12 divide by 3, but 8 does not. 8 and 12 divide by 4, but 15 does not. And do I have a y and an x in every term? Then I'm done. All right. Oh, be quiet, Michael. Why? You don't need to write that, honey. I said that was a step we could skip. Okay. So, Michael, look at this right here. In order to add fractions, you have to have a common denominator, right? So here's what I know. In my common denominator, I need a 6 and an n. What else do I need?
4 and -4.
Well, actually, I need an. See, you can't factor an n out of n minus 4, right?
What?
You cannot factor an n out of n minus 4, right?
Yeah.
So I can't just say minus 4 over here and make it n minus 4. So I need also n minus 4. Okay?
So you just put in the whole body thing?
Sometimes. We'll look at the next one and we'll talk about that one, okay? Okay, so down here I have a 6n, so what do I need? N minus 4. Basically, if they have nothing in common, then they need each other, right? So on n plus, or in minus 4, I need what? 6n. Okay. Actually, we made it a little bit harder because what could I have done at the very beginning with 4 over 6n? I could have simplified it, right? 4 over 6, 2 over 3. Oh well. Oh well. Because I don't need a 6, I just need a 3. I'm going to go ahead and do it like this, and then we can discuss the other way. So let's do 4, right? I know. You're fine. So 4 times n plus 4 is what? 4n plus... Oh, I don't know. It should be minus, shouldn't it? Okay, guys, hey. I don't know why I'm saying n plus 4. That needs to be n minus 4. Okay. So I've got 4n minus what? Minus 16. That's a minus sign. Okay, and then I've got plus. Now, what am I going to have to do with this 6n? Distribute it as well. So 6n times 4n is 24n squared. And then 6n times 6 is over my common denominator of 6n times n minus 4. Alright, so let's combine what simplifies. So I've got 24n squared, 36n and 4n, 40n, and then minus 16, right? Over 6n times n minus 4. What do you notice about all the numbers in the top? They're all what? They're all even, right? They actually all divide by an 8, but oh well. Well, let's go ahead and factor out an 8. What am I left with? Okay. Now can I simplify anything? You sure? 8 and 6, right? 8 divided by 2 is 6 divided by 2 is 3. Okay. Now, you know what I'm going to make sure of? I'm going to factor this right quick to see if n minus 4 is a factor. If n minus 4 is a factor, then it can cancel out. If it's not, then I'm done. Okay? So I'm just going to check it out to the side. I'm going to write 3n squared plus 5n minus 2. Okay, so I'm just going to check this down here. 3 times negative 2 is? Factors of negative 6 add up to? R? Okay. So n plus 6, n minus 1. I got to remember to divide by what? 3. That's n plus 2 and 3n minus 1. Are either of those that? If they're not, then I don't need to factor, do I? So my final answer would be 4 times this over 3 times that. Well, what did I just say? Yeah, I was telling what I said. This factors to those two, but neither of those is n minus 4, so I might as well not factor it, because it doesn't cancel. Oh, honey. It just means I don't need a factor. No, honey, that's why I said the answer is just this. Okay, so let's talk about this one. Do either of these factor into the other? 3 goes into 3x plus 6, right? So I'm going to factor out a 3 on this one, and I'm left with what? Okay, so now this is one, Michael, where you see my common denominator is not a 3 times a 3x plus 2. It's only a 3 times x plus 2. Well, my common denominator needs to have, both denominators need to be represented, right? In this one, I needed an n minus 4 and a 6n. On this one, I need a 4x and I need a 3x cubed. On this one, they're the same already, right? On this one, I need a 6 and I need an a and a b. The 2 divides into 6, so it's just a 6 and an a and a b. On this one, they don't have anything in common, so I need this one and that one, right? Multiply by each other? In that case, yeah, but I'm saying in this case you don't have to. Because if you multiply this side by 3x plus 6, you're adding extra work for yourself because my common denominator needs a 3 and it needs an x plus 2. But that's it. Don't I already have a 3 over here? So I don't need to multiply by 3 times x plus 2. I only need, right, I only need x plus 2. Okay. So do I need anything on the right hand side, guys? No. So I really only need to distribute the 3x on the top. So what's 3x times x plus 2? 3x squared plus 6x plus, what am I adding? X plus 4 over my common denominator of 3 times x plus 2. Guys, is there anything I can combine? Yeah, 6x plus x is. Okay, so I've got 3x squared plus 7x plus 4 over my common denominator of 3 times x plus 2. What should I check if it factors to x plus 2 being one of the factors? So out to the side, I'm going to factor this. 3 times 4 is what? 12. So factors of 12 that add up to 7? 3 and 4, right? So if I said x plus 3 and x plus 4, what do I need to remember to divide by? The 3. So I get x plus 1 and 3x plus 4. Is either of these x plus 2? Then I don't need to factor it, do I? Alright. And there we go. Alright, so we done? Okay.